Okay, the first one is place a tick on the column to indicate which three of the following statements are correct. Cost accounting can be used for inventory valuation to meet the requirements of internal reporting only. Now, this statement is incorrect due to this word of only. Cost accounting can be used for inventory valuation to meet the internal reporting, full stop. This is correct. Why? Because we also determine value of inventory in the financial accounting, or not for the external reporting only. We also calculate value of the inventory for financial accounting, and financial accounts are presented to externals. So that's why this statement is not correct. Management accounting provides appropriate information for decision making, planning, control, and performance measurement. Yes, it only provides information for decision making, planning, control, and performance measurement is basically one and the same thing, which means performance measurement. So this statement is the correct statement. Routine information can be used for both short-term and long-term decision. This is also the correct statement. At times, students think that whenever there is a word of routine information, they think routine information is only useful for short term. But in fact, routine information is useful for short term and long term both. Financial accounting information can be used for internal reporting purposes. It is correct. If he says that for financial accounting information can be used for external reporting purposes, it is also correct. But if he says that financial accounting information can be used for internal reporting purposes only, now due to this word only, it will be incorrect, just like first statement. Or if he says that financial accounting information can be used for external reporting purposes only, again he uses external, but again only, then this statement will be incorrect. So we are preparing financial statements, but not only for the internal or not only for the externals. We are preparing financial statements for both, for the internals and as well as for the externals. Management accounting information must be presented in a prescribed industry format. Management accounting, no, there is no prescribed industry format for the management accounting, so that's why it is incorrect. Second, third, and fourth statement is what? These are the correct statements. Next one is, which of the following is the correct definition of exception reporting, or it is called reporting by exception or exceptional reporting. Exception reporting or exceptional reporting means what? It means we are going to report any significant variances, something which is extraordinary. Either it is favorable for us or it is adverse for us, but in either case, we are going to identify the reasons why something is unnecessarily or highly favorable for us, or why something is highly adverse for us. So this is called what? Management by exception or extraordinary reporting. A report that is only produced when something is out of the ordinary has happened. So this one is the right answer, out of the ordinary. A report that highlights which division had the best performance in the period, it is not the purpose of exception reporting. A report that explains the which control managers are unhappy with, a report that summarizes the full year performance. So it is not the full year performance. This one is the right answer. A company operates a fleet of delivery vehicles. It is aiming uh, for aiming for organizational purposes. Which of the following cost unit would be the useful to the company? Driver hours and ton per kilometer. Fleet of delivery vehicles. For the fleet of delivery vehicles, it is appropriate for the company to follow tons per kilometer, or we can say that cost per ton per kilometer will be the most appropriate rather than the driver hours. Next one is, which of the following would be included in the financial accounts but may be excluded from the cost account? So direct material cost is relevant with the production cost. So it is part of both financial and cost. Depreciation is part of again both financial accounting and cost accounting. But bank interest and charges are usually part of financial accounting only or financial accounts only. And similarly, factory managers' salaries or apart from factory managers, all the salaries are part of both the cost accounting and financial account. So C is the answer where bank interest and charges are what are part of the financial accounts. Any question? What is an investment center best described as? Investment center is basically responsible to maximize the return on investment. Investment center is responsible to maximize return on investment and residual income against the resources which are deployed by the division. A center within an enterprise with responsibilities of revenues, cost, and capital investment, and whose performance is measured on return on capital employed. So, return on capital employed and return on investment is one and the same thing, that we are determining return against the investment which is given in non-current assets, or to which is given to non-current assets and current assets. Secondary, investment center manager is responsible or independent for the allocation of resources. A center with an enterprise with responsibilities for revenue and cost, and whose performance is measured by profitability. It is the definition of profit center. If I change the question and rather than investment center, if I say what is the profit center, then B will be considered as the correct answer. A center within an enterprise where costs are collected before being analyzed further. It is not the appropriate definition of cost center. A center within an enterprise whose performance is responsibility of a specific manager. So this A statement is the correct for investment center. But suppose if we change the question and examiner asks you what is the profit center best described as, then B is the correct answer. B is appropriately presenting the profit center. Next one is the following information relates to 6 to 9. The following is summary of entries in the work in progress account in the cost ledger of XYZ, where opening balance is $3,000 debit, direct material used is 12,500. Then we have direct labor charged to work in progress. Remember one thing, whenever we determine or whenever we use a journal entry where we say that debit work in progress, credit either material control account, or we are going to credit our labor account or wages account, or we have our overheads account or variable overhead account. It means work in progress is always debited against the variable cost, and production overheads account is always debited as against the indirect costs. Then we have production overhead absorbed. Then we have transfer to finished goods. What is the balance of work in progress carried forward to the next period? So he says that it is started from 3,000. Then we have further material used 12,500. Then we have cost of labor of 21,500. And then we have absorption of fixed overheads or production overhead 17,400. So what will we do? We will add up all these costs, 3,000 plus 12,500 plus 21,500 and plus 17,400. So here we have total sum of 54,400. Transfer to finished goods are 49,000. These are done. So after deducting 49,000 finished goods, what we have as a work in progress, so the closing work in progress value is 5,400. This one is the right answer, that closing work in progress is what? It is 5,400. Next one is Place a tick on the correct column to indicate the correct double entry for material charge to work in progress. As I told you that work in progress account is always debited against the variable cost. Either it is material control account, labor control account, or overheads account, or we can say that variable overheads or direct expenses account. So here we are talking about material charge to work in progress. So debit is what? Debit is work in progress and credit is what? Store ledger control account. Place a tick in the correct column to indicate the correct double entry for the production overheads recovered in the period. So what is production overheads recovered in the period? So he's saying that again work in progress is given. When work in progress is given, it means we are talking about variable overheads or we are talking about direct expenses. So whenever we have variable overheads or we have direct expenses, what is debit? Debit is always work in progress control account, and this time we have credit of production overheads control account. Although they did not mention here as a variable overhead because production overheads control account usually contains both variable and fixed, but if we are showing separately, we will say debit work in progress and credit variable production overheads control account. Then we have next this one. The double entry for the transfer of finished goods would have been, now goods are prepared. So what would be the double entry? Double entry is debit finished goods, credit work in progress. So debit finished goods and credit work in progress. Next one is, which one of the followings may be included in the cost account but excluded from the financial account? What is the depreciation of equipment? Depreciation means reduction in the value of a non-current asset either because of use or either because of obsolescence or either because of fire or any other damage. Distribution expense, it is also part of both financial and cost accounting. It is also part of both financial and cost accounting. It is also part of both financial and cost accounting, factory manager salary. But last one, we have notional rent. Notional means what I am saying that hypothetical. Actually, there is no cash outflow. We are not paying in the form of cash. Suppose you are doing business in your own premises and you are not paying cost to anyone because you are the owner of the premises, but you deduct your rental or monthly rental from your income statement on each month, but effectively there is a no cash outflow from the business. Maybe possible the premises owned by the trust and you are the owner of trust or NGO and you acquired that premises from your own trust on rental. So there is no cash outflow. Notional rental is what? Notional rental is the one which is included in the cost accounting but excluded from the financial accounts. Financial account does not deal with such type of hypothetical cost. Although depreciation is also a non-cash item. It is also non-cash outflow item or non-cash item, but still it is an expense because there is a non-current assets which value is decreasing either because of usage or because of obsolescence. So it is part of the financial accounting as well, but such type of hypothetical costs are not part of financial accounts. In the interlocking system is the one where we are going to combine our cost accounts and financial accounts. What would be the entry of issue of indirect material? Indirect material is the one which is also used for production process but not easily traceable. So whenever we talk about indirect material, as I told you that for indirect material, debit is always production overheads and credit is material inventory or store ledger control account or material control account. Whatever the title of the material control account or material account will be, what it will be production overheads. Then we have What is the correct entry in the cost ledger to record the over absorption of overheads? Basically, we will study this topic in detail, but here it is provided. So that is why I am going to explain this. Over absorption means my actual overheads are lower than absorbed overheads. Absorbed means my expectations, my flex budget, or I was expecting that this much be my overheads, but actually I paid lower. When actually I paid lower, it means I am in gain, I am in profit. So my actual overheads are lower than what? Absorbed overheads. This is called what? It is called gain. So what is the correct entry in the cost ledger record to record the over absorption of production overheads? Debit over absorption production overheads, because it is a gain. Gains are not debited, gains are always credited. So A and B can never be the correct entry. Now overheads control account are the relevant with over or under absorption. If suppose we are given with the under absorption means loss, and losses are always what? Losses are always debited. So if question says that what is the under absorption, in this case our journal entry will be debit under absorb, credit production overheads control account. But here in this case where we have gain, where we have absorbed overheads, now we have what? We have debit production overheads control account and credit overheads absorption overhead absorbed over absorbed production overheads account. So this one is the correct entry for over absorb. Remember, over absorb is always gain and gains are always credited. Under absorb is always loss and losses are always debited. Credited against what? Credited against production overheads control account. Similarly, debited against what? Debited against production overheads control account. Then we have consider the following income statement relating to management information. In management information must be what? Management information must be clear to the user, detailed and completely accurate. This completely accurate is always the incorrect sentence. Provided whatever the cost, not provided whatever the cost, always it must be cost effective. Cost effective means cost of the information must be lower than the benefit obtained. Relevant for the purpose, yes, it is true. Relevant for the purpose that whatever information you are going to get, it is relevant for the purpose. So it must be clear to the user and there must be a relevance of that good information. Basically, what are the characteristics of good information? Characteristics of good information says that it must be accurate. Accurate is what? Accurate is acronym. Now, what is this acronym or what does it mean? Basically, accurate means what? Accurate means A stands for accurate, C stands for complete, then C stands for cost effective, then we have U stands for understandable, R stands for relevant or reliable, A stands for achievable or attainable, T stands for timely, and E stands for easy to use. So don't forget this acronym: accurate, complete, cost effective, understandable, relevant or reliable, achievable or attainable, timely and easy to use. Completely accurate is an incorrect sentence, although information must be complete or information must be accurate. Whenever it is inaccurate, it means it is wrong. It is an incorrect sentence. Next one is place a tick in the column to indicate which two of the following are features of graphical user interfaces. Graphical user interfaces can be done with the help of icons and it is pull down menu. Then we have which of the following is a common feature of cost accounting but not the financial accounting. Cost accounting is basically the one control accounts. We also have the control accounts in financial and cost both, cost classification under both, Marginal costing is only the part of cost accounting. It is not the part of financial accounting. Financial accounting only uses or only focuses absorption costing. Then we have cost centers, unit of a product or service which costs are as certain. This is not the definition of cost center. It is the definition of cost unit. Most of the students confuse this definition of cost unit with the cost center. Amount of expenditure attributable to various activities. It could be the definition of expenses, but not the definition of cost center. Cost center is basically a function or location for which costs are ascertained and relates to the cost unit. A section of an organization for which budgets are prepared and costs are exercised. This is not the definition, correct definition. I told you this one is the correct definition. What is the primary purpose of management information? There are three purposes: planning, control, and performance measurement is one and the same thing, and decision making only. So there are three purposes. There is no any other fourth purpose of management information. It only has planning, it has control, it has decision making. Rest of the information is not part of or not relevant with management information. Which of the following is a feature of interlocking bookkeeping systems? Interlocking is basically doing what? It is combining one set of ledger accounts, no control account. A cost ledger contains assets and liability accounts, separate cost and financial ledgers. It is basically integrated. So the correct one is cost ledger contains assets and liability accounts both. Then we have place a tick in the column to indicate which three of the following are used for capture and storage of management data by computer. So if we talk about barcodes, barcode is one which is used when you are going to buy something and the shopkeeper is using the barcode and then he will give you the invoice. This is true. We can use disk for it and as well as we can use tape for it. Printer is not for use for the storage. This is not the purpose of the printer. Then we have in an integrated cost and financial accounting system, what would be the entry to record direct labor cost being charged to production? As I told you that direct material, direct labor, variable overheads, all have work in progress always debited. In case of labor, we have wages control account as credit. In case of material, we have material control account as credit. In case of overheads, we have direct expenses account as credit. The management accountant of X has written a report assessing the cost saving that could be made if the company were to invest in new technology. In which area will the report primarily aid the management of X? So, which one is primarily aid the report primarily aid the management of X? It is basically what? It is basically decision making. Return assessing the cost saving. Whenever we are going to perform an assessment, either cost saving, either expensing, if company were to invest in the new technology, due to new technology, there will be a cost saving. This is called what? This is called decision making. Which of the following only contains essential features of useful management information? Useful management information must be accurate. This is clear. Clear, it is true. Presented in a report format, not necessary. Timely, true. Reliable, true, but again, not necessary. Regular, not necessary, but it must be complete. Planning communicated in writing, again, not true. It must be clear, accurate, and relevant for the purpose. So this is the right answer. What is the interlocking bookkeeping system? Interlocking bookkeeping system, a single combined system containing both cost accounting and financial accounting records, a system combining cost and management accounting, A system supported by primary entry records, a system where separate accounts are prepared, are kept for cost and management. Yes, it is true. For interlocking, for integrated, we always have combined cost and financial accounting accounts, but here we have separate accounts. Which of the following best describes a profit center? Part of a business where management makes investment decision. It is the definition of investment center. Part of a business that provides service to other parts of the business. It is called service center. Part of a business where finished goods are manufactured. It is called like production department. Part of a business where manager is responsible for cost and revenue both. It is called profit center. Remember one thing, there is no revenue center in the organization. Whenever he's used the word of revenue center, there is no revenue center in the organization. One is cost center, second one is investment center, and the third one is profit center. There are only three centers. In a large company, which of the following activities may be the responsibility of an accounting technician? Calculating cost variances, yes, it is. It could be the responsibility of a accounting technician or junior level employee. Making capital investment decision, it is done by the senior management. Approving budgets, it is also done by senior management. Allocating warehouse space, it is the responsibility of the administrative department. Which of the following are characteristics of management accounting information? It contains with financial and non-financial data both, used by all the stakeholders. Not the management accounting information is used by all the stakeholders, but the financial accounting information is the one which is used by all the stakeholders. Concerned with costs only, it is the cost accounting which is dealing with the costs. Then not legally required? Yes, it is not legally required. So this is the answer. Are the following statements true? Completed questionnaire are part of a market research survey, are examples of data. Monthly management accounting reports resulting from the processing of financial transactions are examples of information. Completed questionnaire or part of market research service, yes, it is an example of data, because now we will process this information to get the or process this data to convert into useful information. Monthly management accounting reports resulting from the processing of financial transactions are examples of information. So both the statements are true. Lastly, place a tick in the column to indicate which two of the following statements are true. In the integrated accounting, there will be a cost ledger control account. In the integrated accounting, there will be combined accounts for cost and financial both. Integrated accounting has one combined set of ledger accounts true. Interlocking has a separate cost of financial and ledger accounts. This is also true. So these are the MCQs which are relevant with the management information.